Today we're going to learn about a new kind of investing framework called the DuPont framework. And we learn all the 5 parts here. But before I explain it to you, I thought it's a better way to do it that I explain it to this guy. Mudit, what's up?
All good.
Okay, so when you invest in a company, what do you look at?
I look at what the company does, which sector it is, what industry. I'll look at a few ratios, ROC, ROE, if the profits are growing consistently, and P ratio, sometimes P ratio, price to
Got it. So basically, you said ROE.
Yes.
That's very nice, right? A good way to understand ROE is a fixed deposit, okay? So
Yeah.
just hold on. So a fixed deposit, if you put 100 rupees,
Yeah.
you know how much interest you'll get, right?
Absolutely.
So the fixed deposit is like an asset. It is an asset, and it knows, and you know that you'll get 7% out of it.
Yes.
Okay. Now if I put 1 lakh also, I'll get 7% back.
Yes.
Now when you're running a company, it's very similar. Imagine the company is an asset.
Yeah.
How much will the company as an asset give me based on the shareholder funds, based on the company of what it has in terms of its assets, etc.
Yes.
So, a efficient company will have a high ROE and a non-efficient company will have a low ROE.
Makes
Right?
sense. Makes sense.
Think of it this way. I can give $1 billion to a startup and if it generates 100 rupees in revenue, that's really bad ROE on what
That's
it has,
bad
right?
ROE, yes,
But
yes.
if I give a startup nothing,
Yes.
or let's say 100 rupees and it generates crores of rupees, it's generating a lot based
Of
on
ROE.
what it has.
Yes.
So ROE is a good measure of efficiency. Now as an investor, you want to make sure whatever money you're putting in comes back efficiently. So ROE is a good metric.
Yes.
So let's break down the ROE. That's what the DuPont does.
Okay.
वो ROE को break down करके finds whether it's good or not based on P&L.
Absolutely. Okay.
Got it, right?
Yes.
And it's a 5-point framework you will be able to do, and I'll also give you a surprise in the end, so stick till the end. So now let's learn the 5-point DuPont framework starting from number 1. So basically, these 5 points, we're just going to break down ROE.
Okay.
So we're going to look at profit and loss wale metrics.
Okay.
The first one is the net profit margin. Basically, if your NPM is 10%,
हाँ.
इसका मतलब अगर 100 रुपए आया तो 10 रुपए बचा.
हाँ,
That's
ठीक
it,
है.
net after all your costs and interest payments.
ठीक है.
That's the first metric. And you want a high or a low NPM company?
Higher.
A high. The second one is asset turnover. This is basically if a company has an asset turnover of say 2, it means that it for every 1 rupee in assets, it's generating 2 rupees in income.
Okay. Sales of 2, right?
Sales of 2. It's measuring whether it's using its assets in an efficient way or not. More than 1 means it's being able to generate the asset it actually owns.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Yes.
And you want basically a higher asset turnover
Higher
ratio, right?
Yes.
More
Makes
than
sense.
2.
Makes sense.
Then we have interest burden. This is basically if a company has an interest burden of say 5%, it means for every 100 rupees in income, 5% is going into interest payments.
Okay.
Okay, so a high debt company will have a very high
Very high percentage. Yeah.
of this.
Yes.
So इसमें the lower the better.
The lower the better.
ऐसा
Yeah.
कोई number नहीं है, but I'll give you benchmarks.
Okay.
So far so good, right?
Yes.
This is pretty straightforward.
We are just breaking down ROE, right?
You're just breaking down ROE.
It's okay.
You're just breaking down ROE. Then you have operating margin. If a company has an operating margin over here, you can see it's 15, right? This one.
Yes.
It means for every 100 rupees in revenue, it's making 15 rupees of profit after subtracting interest payments. After subtracting interest payments. So
Okay.
interest payments निकल गया.
ठीक
तो
है.
इसमें the higher the better.
The higher the better, yeah.
And you're looking these all efficiency ratios.
Efficiency.
यार वो company scale पे तो है, but is it efficient or not?
कितने
ऐसा
अच्छे से
waste तो नहीं कर रही है.
काम कर रही है, right?
So startups will fail at this.
Oh, don't cry, are you?
Anyway, the last we have is financial leverage, जो आप बोल रहे थे.
हाँ.
And इसको आप देखोगे, if a company has a financial leverage of 2, it basically means for every 1 rupee in shareholder equity,
हाँ.
it has 2 rupees in debt. For every 1 rupee in shareholder equity, it has 2 rupees in debt. तो ये तो कम होना चाहिए. In fact, when the DuPont was introduced, there were only 3 metrics.
Okay.
But now it's actually become 5 metrics because
People want to break down things.
things have evolved, right? So that's what DuPont framework is.
Sir, is this like a foolproof thing or something?
I mean, nothing's foolproof, right? You still have to diversify. You still have to do all those things that an investor has to do. Some drawbacks is like, this is only dependent on P&L and balance sheet. तो अगर promoters उसको manipulate करते हैं या थोड़ा financial jugglery करते हैं तो it can seem very pretty and nice but it's like ugly on the inside. So that can be one thing. The other thing is I think DuPont by itself is not enough na. You should compare it with all the peers. तो आप अगर alcohol industry beverages देख रहे हो, see all the peers and see how they're all doing. So on their own, it never makes sense. Relative comparison. Also, I think you should see how these metrics do over a period of time, like 5 years, 10 years, to see what trend क्या है generally. So I think if you do these two things, that should save you from a bunch of shit.
Sir, सिर्फ DuPont सीख के successful investor बन जाऊँगा?
The truth is no. And I think to become a successful investor or to learn any skill, right, you need to do 3 things. One, you need to do a one-on-one with a mentor.
Yes.
Where you're sitting and you're actually learning. And इसमें तो हम लोग कुछ कर रहे नहीं थे, right? This is video. YouTube is just for video.
Yes.
But where you can actually sit and बोले, अब ये DuPont analysis है, ले, run it and tell me 5 companies from this analysis and मैं गलती निकालता हूँ.
I should be able to do this.
You should be able to do this. I should check this.
Yes.
And this proof of work should be done again and again over say a 2-day period where you actually learn it. And I think here, you know, the internet has made access to information easy and good, but the internet yet is not giving access to feedback loops better. So to solve this, we have something called LearnApp Prime. It's very simple and it's completely free. You have to apply. If smart people like you fill up the form nicely, we give you entry every weekend where you will sit with a mentor like me. You will learn basics of trading and investing all the way to intermediate.
Wow.
You will build proof of work and you'll do it inside a community of other people. This is what a class looks like. Look at that. Isn't that nice? It looks beautiful. It's live. And you meet a lot of traders and investors who are like you, want to learn and are not in this nonsense ki paisa double kar do, mujhe 30% return chahiye, all that bullshit, right? Just the proper truth is given to you. And this is done every weekend. So that is a good way to actually learn. And I really believe in that methodology of learning. So you guys, if you thought that's interesting, go to the description, fill up the form. Hopefully if you get in. If you get rejected, you can complain in the comments. It's fine. And if you like it, say something nice. But let's move on.
I'll be applying soon.
Well, let's move on.
Sir, हम कैसे करेंगे? लेकिन ये हमें screener तो दो इसका.
LearnApp is a good place. As you know, hit that subscribe, like button, say something nice in the comments. And as a thank you, go to the description and click on the screener where you'll get all these talks over here based on what we learned right here. Can you see it? Pretty cool, right?
This is absolutely amazing.
But you look subscribe नहीं कर रहे हैं यार.
बोलो यार करो subscribe.
See you in the next video. Take your bum out. And back में touch करो सीट हो जाएगा.
ये ठीक है?
पीछे कर देना ऐसे. It's measuring whether they're